All right, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an early edition, um, in the chair after dark.
How you doing, everybody?
Yeah,
So if Tony's screen looks a little bit different,
take this little one here.
it's because he's at the Special Olympics Winter Games
Hey, what's your name?
in Wenatchee, and right now there's one of the athletes right behind him. Actually, two, I think.
Yes,
Hey guys, how are you
we're
doing?
actually doing a live podcast here tonight, and I've got a bunch of athletes in my room. There was a birthday with Special Olympics tonight, and they're hoarding cupcakes out of my room. So,
Hey, like we said, if anybody has cupcakes, anybody would be in there. So I don't think that's a
All right,
bad thing.
Jake, you're not here, buddy.
I know I might be in the next time. Who knows? We're trying to make that happen.
so
Okay. Or I'll see you the 15th otherwise.
he's at home.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
follow
Good to
my
see you
15th.
soon, man. Missed you.
All right. Yeah.
That's fine.
Our heart rate went back down to 188.
That's fine. And there's two more. There's two more things over here.
Can I bring the whole thing? My friends want some. By the light.
If you want to take one, take one. Just don't eat them all right now.
His plans are in the hallway.
Oh, and then Becky at dinner tonight. There's there's some for AJ, but you can if he wants to. Yeah.
No, I don't need it.
Okay. All right. So Keaton just took a whole slew of cupcakes.
Hey, they just competed a lot.
All the athletes.
They need a sugar boost right before bed. You don't know that yet?
I hear somebody.
And here's Corey.
Oh God! Oh God! You let trouble in there.
Get over it. Don't make me kick in the kneecap.
All right.
You try to reach my kneecap, we're gonna have problems.
You're right. I probably
So,
couldn't.
as we were saying,
Sorry.
you're fine.
I had to make an appearance.
This is a very special edition of From the Chair.
Fine, dude.
We're
What?
actually going to do some predictions for AEW Revolution tomorrow night. And as I said,
Yes, we are.
As I said in our previous podcast, Nas almost ran the board on the WWE if it wasn't for that Brock Lesnar.
Damn you, Brock Lesnar.
So
I'll give you one.
So
They need to take the title.
maybe, just maybe, he'll run the table this time. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we've got some exciting breaking news. With that, I'll let Mr. Nas take it away.
What's up? I'm here.
So today I got a message from one of the longest reigning managers in the Pacific Northwest. He managed for WCWC and currently is the manager of Hellbound and BCW, RWA, and other promotions. He used to be known as Mr. Tubbs in WCWC. He's now known as Al Tubbs. He has agreed to be on our podcast sometime towards the end of April.
Sweet.
But
Now-
it gets even better than that, and
Yes, it does.
I'll explain here in a minute.
I'll let Tony take that part. So,
As Nathan says, I'm the executive producer of this show, so I'm the hardest working executive producer you'll ever find.
Yep.
This weekend, while I've been up in Wenatchee, I wrangled in on a handshake deal. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a handshake deal. The CEO of Special Olympics Washington, Mr. David Wu,
Yep.
to make an appearance on our podcast.
And he said we do it.
And I even introduced myself as Nathan Noss's advocate.
That is so awesome.
Well, to top it all off, he knows me anyway because I was up there on state. So I talk to him all the time.
That's awesome, but we're not going to hold that against.
Hold that against me? I did pretty good up there on state.
So
No. We're not gonna hold it against David Wu that he knows you. That
And I've been working on the executive vice president, Madison Garibaldi, or what I'm butchering her last name. I apologize, Madison. I've also in the works with the talented Nicole Becker, who is the Northwest Region sports and sports manager. I've also been in contact with Miss Cheyenne Baird, who is the Southwest Washington manager, sports manager. I'd like to, hopefully, if we get Mr. David Wu, we can get Miss Mary Doe, who is the chief executive officer, or I'm sorry, the chief COO. So she's the chief executive officer of Special Olympics Washington.
Wow.
And I've also talked to Mr. Ray Roberts, a former Seattle Seahawk and current Grand Marshal of the Winter Games and ambassador for Special Olympics North America.
Very cool.
So even though I am in Wenatchee, I never take my executive.
And personally, I am very, very thankful, that you worked that hard, because this podcast wouldn't be possible without that. So.
Yeah, well, we try. What can we say? A little bit of news here. We think we know the next challenger for the AEW title after Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
I guess there was a huge Twitter war between Britt Baker, Dr. DMD, and Adam Cole, Bay Bay, and MJF.
Oh, very interesting. And that would make a lot of sense considering Adam Cole never really got, his push that was going to happen after Forbidden Door because he got hurt.
Right.
So,
plus, to be fair, it'd be stupid for Tony Khan not to capitalize on his popularity.
Oh, have you guys seen the new look of the Ring of Honor stuff?
Yes.
Don't it look cool?
Yes, it looks very cool.
Dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to change subject. That was cool, man.
This is
awesome. You're fine. Let's just roll with it.
Awesome. We've got okay, so for those of you that don't know this voice, we've got a special guest in the studio tonight, Mr. Corey Opp, one of our Special Olympics athletes.
Hello.
Him and his Daniel Bryan beard.
Nope, I shaved it.
He actually shaved it.
I had to. I was getting headaches.
Ah, I see.
He actually shaved it.
Yeah, I was getting headaches. I had to take care of all that stuff. My headaches are coming back.
So, so I don't get I don't want the background noise.
And we know what the next challenger after AR Fox is for Claudio in the ROH championship.
Yeah.
The Mad King himself, Eddie Kingston.
Oh, yeah, that helps us a little bit.
You can just you don't have to shut it all the way. There you go. That's fine. Yeah, that way if they want to come in, they can. You're fine, AJ. I know you're listening to the Mark Morris game.
That's why it was cool.
So, okay. So, moving on to this. Let's see if Mr. Noss can run the table for Revolution tomorrow.
I don't know.
I'm actually going to start.
I'll do my best.
Let's see here. So I got to. I'm sorry, I've got to cheat because I'm extremely exhausted.
Well, that's a black dude. Daily.
So I have to all right. So I've got
Sometimes you put things in songs that's really lessons learned, trying to
I was watching the last episode. And boy, how did Daniel Bryan go off in JF?
Yes, he did.
I was sitting there going, yeah, go, buddy.
so oh they added some stuff since
Oh, really?
they added some stuff since Revolution match card. Yeah, I guess. Did you know they added matches?
I know they added a stipulation to the Christian Cage Jack Perry match.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go right out on a limb right here.
Okay.
The pre-show match. Do you know what that is?
No, they didn't announce that on TV. So
Okay, let's put our brilliant host to the test here.
all right, bring it on.
We have a pre-show with it's a trios match.
I guessed it right.
So
Okay.
you've got the Lucha Bros with their partner, somebody very near and dear to my heart now, Mr. Mark Briscoe,
Okay.
versus Ari Daivari and the Varsity Blondes. Or the Varsity Athletes, I'm sorry.
Oh, Clement?
I think it's gonna be Mark Briscoe and the Lucha Brothers.
I disagree. I think it's going to be the other guys.
Is that the technical term?
Yes.
Tony, what's your pick?
I'm going to go out on a limb just because Mark Briscoe has been extremely hot, and Warner Brothers has actually done the right thing for the family. I can't go against Mark Briscoe, so I'm going to put Lucha and Briscoe over Daivari and the Varsity Athletes.
Like, you got to have one guy off the other side that says something different. Come on now.
Okay, match 2 of the pre-show.
Okay, hold up. Before you go on to that one, I want to say thank you to whoever's viewing this live.
Oh, wow. We have a viewer. Woohoo! Yay!
I would, but my stuff ain't with me. So I'm just a special guest.
We actually have a viewer. Again, we have a special guest in studio tonight. Oh, and we just lost the viewer.
Come back.
Anyways, okay, so moving on. The second match of the pre-show is the Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds,
Right.
versus ECC members Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta.
As much as I want to, as much as I want to vote for the BCC, as much as I want to vote for the Dark Order, I think that they're going to give it to Claudio and Wheeler to continue with their heel turn.
Yeah, I got to agree with that one myself.
And it's a unanimous decision. I actually agree with that. So I am not going to start at the top of the card because that would just be too easy. I'm just going to jump around all over the place.
I'm good with that.
So we're going to go next to the No Holds Barred match.
Okay.
Between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
And again, that's now been turned into a burial match.
Oh.
seen that.
Okay, well, I was
Which
up
is-
here, I was up here for Rampage, so I didn't get to watch it.
Which is akin to the Buried Alive match in
I seen that.
WWE.
I was watching that and I seen that. From the start of Dynamite, the Jungle Boy had a whole set upgrade right in front of him.
My gut feeling on that one is they have to give the win. If you think about this feud so far, Christian Cage has pretty much dominated this feud so far. Like, even when Jack Perry gets his attacks, Christian cuts him off and ends up getting the upper hand. So I think now it's time for Jack Perry to get the win. Plus, he would gain more by having a win over Christian Cage.
I have to agree with the guy.
Okay, and it's gonna be
Hold
a
on.
three. Go
Okay, I
ahead.
was gonna say who's your pick. I thought you were going on to the next.
No. It's gonna be a 3 for 3 because I'm gonna give it to Jungle Boy too, just because, and I'm gonna go off of a song here. So please
All
forgive
right.
me. Jungle Boy Jack Perry is going to win because Christian has always been Edge's bitch.
Yep.
Ah,
I heard that. I was like, oh.
thank you, Joe Henry, for that being our song for anybody that had any connection to Edge now. For
All right, we're gonna jump right into a title match now because
Which one?
these are always Nathan's favorites, our title matches.
yes, they are.
So we're gonna go to the. I don't think it's gonna be the show stealer, but I think it's gonna be one of the better matches in the pay-per-view, and that is the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Oh. Yeah.
We've got the Guns versus the Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Now, before we get started, I'm just looking forward to the Acclaim's entrance just to bury all three of them in a killer ass rap.
I would agree with that. You know what? I've answered first the last couple of times. I'm going to pass this one off to Tony to answer first, and then or Corey, and
I'm gonna go off the wall a little bit and say let's just squeeze in the.
Danhausen, yes.
I'm just going off the wall. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
I'm going to throw a complete curveball also on this, and I'm going to go with JEFF, JARR, double T, and Jay Lethal.
and reasons being.
And reasons being just because I think they don't want the asshole. I mean, I'm sorry. And I think the Acclaim have more heat with JEFF, JARR, than they do with the Guns.
I'm a little bit torn on that one because I kind of agree with Tony on the Acclaim having hit with Jeff Jarrett, especially after what they said about his dad a couple weeks ago. But I have to go with the Acclaim only because Tony Khan knows how to capitalize on somebody that's hot. And if you think about it, the Acclaim's one of the teams that even when they lose, the fans still love them.
Well, let's see what's on that way because I'd love to see Danhausen get a title. He's been there, you guys got one. That's what that's my reason being going that way.
The only reason I don't think Danhausen is gonna win it, it'd be funny if he went to curse Max Caster and Max Caster like grabbed his hands and like pointed it back at Danhausen. That way he curses himself.
These are me.
Or yeah, that's even better. He does the scissoring and he breaks the curse.
All right. I'll go with the flow on that one. But still, that's my choice.
I got you.
Okay, now probably one of the most intriguing matches. Again, I'm just jumping around here because I'm saving the best two for last.
Okay,
Just
got you.
my personal opinion. We want to go with Ricky, don't call me the Rock Starks. And Chris, I wish I was still Y2J Jericho.
My thought on that one is I think it's going to be Jericho. Only because I don't think the JAS are going to heed the stipulation of staying out of it. And I think that there might be a new member of the JAS that nobody knows about yet. And that could be how they screwed that rule, because all the rule says is nobody from the JAS can interfere. But if somebody debuts that night as a member of the JAS by interfering, then technically they didn't break the rule.
I gotta go with Starks on this one because they've been having a feud, and those guys have been getting the best of him quite a bit. So he's really furious about that.
And I guess that makes my prediction. Okay, so again, I'm a little torn on this one. As much as I love the GOAT, I think I'm going to give it to Ricky, don't call me the Rock Starks.
I love that name.
When you think about it, all that time he's been attacked, it just builds up his temper and his fear for him. So that's why I'm taking that guy.
Okay. We're going to go ahead.
Last thing before you go to the next one, the guy that I think might jump to the JAS might surprise somebody. I think it's going to be Action Andretti.
Good call.
Nice.
Now, here's my reason for that. My reason is, who's to say Jericho didn't plan this thing from the beginning?
True.
Right? Because Jericho's the one that chose Action Andretti to wrestle. So Jericho lets Andretti beat him, join up with Starks, and then now Andretti costs Starks the win at Revolution.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to move into another title. And this one is the AEW Women's Three-Way Match. We got Ruby Soho, Ruby, Soho.
Yep.
We got Jamie Hayter. And we've got Saraya, please don't call me Paige.
So as much as I want to vote for Saraya or for Jamie Hayter, because I'm really liking the way they're doing her face character, I think it's going to be Saraya. But I think it's going to be because Ruby Soho joins her and attacks Brent Baker and then gives the title to Saraya.
I'm torn with all three of those. I like all three of those people, so I'm torn. So I'm gonna have to go with Ruby Soho. Reason being, she's been there a while and she still hasn't got a title yet either.
True.
That's the reason for that one.
Right down there.
Okay, and with me, I'm going to go. There's a reasoning behind all this. So I am going to go Saraya. only because for two reasons. Three reasons. Saraya is a great heel. They've got too many face champions right now, so they need somebody that can match MJF as the top female heel. You would do that. But here's the other thing. I think she's going to win via help from the outside. And that help that I think is coming for her is none other than Mercedes Moné, current New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's Champion.
That's good reasoning. I'll give that reasoning.
That would be very awesome.
I'm on a special podcast for guys.
So who we got next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're running out of matches. Okay, next one we're going to do is the TNT Championship, Samoa Joe versus Wardlow.
Based on the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs won the Face of the Revolution ladder match, I'd like to do heel versus heel title matches.
31-18, so
Then I'm gonna say Wardlow.
I gotta agree with him on that one.
Samoa Joe is always going to be the face of the TV champion. So he's going to be the ROH TV champion. But however, I think his days of dual championship are over as well as Wardlow takes them out. Okay, if he goes up. Okay, so let's move on to one of the last three matches, and the title match. And I'm so torn on this one too, but it's going to be the trios title with the House of Black versus our own Wayward Sons, the Elite.
So since you're so torn on this, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Because the contracts of the Bucks and Omega are still up in the air and they're not 100% sure where they're going, and because they all have agreed that EVPs should not hold titles for long, the winners and new Trios champion, the House of Black.
I would agree with that for those exact reasons.
Yep, I'm in that one too. I gotta get that one too.
Which leaves us the AEW World Championship Iron Man match and the Texas Death Match. So, Mr. Host, you choose which one you want to do first.
Well, let's save the main event for last. Let's do the Texas Death Match.
I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure on both of those. I like both of the guys. So, I'm gonna have to deal with probably Moxley, even though I like both guys.
I can see that. Tony, what do you think?
I'm going to use a little reverse psychology that the chairman used on us with a couple of matches before. Because as he was stating, he said that he believed the BCC was going to win because they have to complete their heel turn. For that very reason, as much as Nas hates to admit this, Jon Moxley wins that match and turns heel at the end of the match.
Those are both very valid points. But I'm going to take it the other way. I think it's going to be Adam Page winning it, mainly for one major reason. I think Jon Moxley is finally going to get the long-awaited vacation he needs, and he's been waiting for almost a year and a half now. If you go back to, when, All Out when, the whole fight happened, or 6 months to a year, I should say. So I think Hangman wins it, but I think it's going to be one of those, like close pin things, right? Where maybe Jon Moxley hits the paradigm shift, and then they get the pin, and then right at the last second, Moxley's shoulder comes up, and the referee doesn't catch it. So that way it gives Hangman the win. Still can turn Moxley heel because he'll be pissed off when he comes back that the referee screwed him. And then Hangman can carry that momentum on to when Moxley's on his vacation.
Well, aren't you full of yourself, Mr. Chairman, tonight?
I'm sorry. I kind of got into my Booker mode at that point.
You are the most long-winded son of a bitch I know.
Right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I think I've told you that on more than one occasion.
It comes from all the singing I did. I'm used to holding out the note very well.
So,
on this next prediction, not only should we pick the winner, we should pick how many falls we think are going to be each person's going to get.
Well, since MJF hasn't really been one of those, I think Daniel Bryan's going to get the most falls.
Okay, how many do you think he's going to get?
Probably 3, maybe 4 at the most.
Tony, how many do you think he's going to get?
I think this match is going to be a typical MJF Daniel Bryan match. I think that it's going to go back and forth. You're not going to get falls. It's going to get close to the time limit. MJF comes out with the Dynamite Diamond ring, puts it on, knocks out Daniel Bryan. 1, 2, 3, 1 pinfall as time expires.
I'm going to agree with you as far as how many falls, and I do think you're right on the fact that it's going to come down to the very end, kind of like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 13 or 12. And but I don't think it'll be the Dynamite Diamond ring that causes them to lose. As I've said in previous videos, that caused him to lose, going back to what I said earlier, is Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. I think they're going to wait till he gets an upper hand. Hello, Bill. How are you? And I think they're going to wait till he gets an upper hand, and then they're going to attack him, costing him the match, officially kicking him out of the BCC, and slowly completing their heel turn.
Yeah.
I don't see the diamond ring coming, but I still think there's going to be more falls on one side than the other because he's never been in one. And you admitted he's never been in one of them, so.
But and that could be, but I think what's going to happen is I think MJF is going to surprise people.
Maybe.
As
I
much
like
as
him anyway, so I'd rather see him get beat up anyhow. But that's
as
just
much
me.
as I hate to say it, because I can't stand his character, but that's
You're like me. Can't stand him.
But he's better than you, and you know it.
well, apparently not at keeping a woman, but that's another story for.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
Well, do we really want to set the record straight here? Aren't you still single, Nos?
Yes, but you have to remember, I live in a nursing home. It's not like I'm living in a place where the pickings are very fruitful.
Still no excuse.
Wait, what am I supposed to do? Find somebody here? What's that going to do to me? And what am I supposed to bring up for Valentine's Day? A package of prunes?
Sure.
Here, here's one for you. Oh, Donna. Oh, Donna.
No. I've been down that road before. I ain't going back.
So that concludes this prediction show. Tune in Monday night to see if Nathan Noss runs the gamut. Or if, again, he understands his executive producer is better than him. And
I know it.
that's right, ladies and gentlemen. He finally admitted it, that I'm better than him, and he knew it.
All right. This one I'm a little bit nervous on because Tony Khan has a tendency to change his mind a lot,
That's why he keeps it fresh. Every
which I
time.
kind of like. So
That's why he keeps it fresh.
Thank
He does
you.
it really well.
thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for that one viewer that watched live. We'll work better on keeping you for the whole live stream and not just part of it, but thank you anyway. And everybody have a great night.
Oh, I see it. He doesn't even say thank you.
Oh, and
So-
thank you, Corey.
So we're doing a bonus edition of After Dark tonight. That's right. Not only are we doing the prediction show, he's also going to do his recap show as he promises each and every week. But before we do that, we're actually going to still talk a little bit more wrestling, a little bit more sports, just because we enjoy doing this, and it's a special edition because we have people coming in and out of the hotel room every minute. So we're just going to keep rolling with this. We're going to just keep recording because we're just having a great old time.
Yes, and before we continue, I need to say something to my roommate. Mom, don't forget to have him feed the fish. Sorry, I had to take care of my pets first. I have 3 fish that need to be fed.
And that in line, ladies and gentlemen, why he does not have a date. He lives in a nursing home with his mother.
Yes. Yeah, it's like every bad comedy show that's punchline.
Mr. Nosh, you haven't had a ribbing like this in a long time, have you?
No.
Hey.
So,
It's okay. It's okay he's getting the ripping like he's getting, but you know what? He's still shorter than me, and I'm still better than him.
Corey, that's not saying much. I sit down, you stand up. Of course I'm going to be shorter than you.
Hey, I play sports, and I get hurt, and I still move.
That's not what I heard.
So, just because I'm not sure what's going on in this whole bloodline feud, why don't you kick us off with your recap show with SmackDown?
Before I do that, would you guys mind accompanying me on this recap since we're all doing the...
Well, as I stated, I did not watch AEW the other night.
You're talking about Rampage, right? Not Dynamite, or
Oh yeah, I didn't get to watch Rampage. I'm sorry.
it's all right. I just wanted to make sure which one you were talking about.
So if I didn't get to watch Rampage, what makes you think I watched
SmackDown. Got you. Okay.
But I have known enough because I do pay attention even when I'm on vacation and I'm away from the computer.
So let's start with SmackDown as you requested. By the way, that cupcake looks delicious, but I have a high blood sugar today, so really can't eat any sweets right now. So SmackDown started off with
Hey,
Roman.
Nathan,
with,
I got creamy.
I'm not touching that one. This thing goes out to YouTube.
Sorry about that. I couldn't help it.
No, you're good. So SmackDown started off with Roman Reigns in the ring for his confrontation with Cody Rhodes. Before Roman could say anything, Cody came out and asked Roman to send all his cohorts to the back, or his bloodline to the back, which surprisingly Roman agreed to. Cody talked about all his problems with his first run in the WWE. He brought up Stardust. He brought up the fact that all anybody thought was that he would be just a legacy because of him and Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase. But he said at WrestleMania he's gonna change all that and become the WWE Undisputed Champion. To which Roman Reigns laid down both belts.
Oh, bad news, baby.
And told Cody that he's welcome to try. He also talked about how much Dusty helped him when he was in NXT. And in a Dusty impersonation, very well I might add, said that Roman will teach Cody more than Dusty ever did.
Night, Mama Sheila. Yep.
So, and then the first match was actually it was Dominic and Santos Escobar playing off last week. Santos came out with Rey Mysterio's mask that he had been given. It was a good match, but thanks to Rhea Ripley, Dominic got the win. After the match, he got his dad's mask and kind of flaunted back and forth with it, like, look what I have. Rey came out and walked up to Dominic like, you're not taking that. Dominic dropped the mask on the ground, and Rey did nothing to attack his son. He just sat down and kind of held the mask like, what do I do now? With the judgment, a little bit out of order here. There was Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Good match. Rhea Ripley got the win. Surprisingly, not with the Riptide, but with the with Nightmare Pendulum submission hold, with her knee to the back of Liv Morgan's head, which actually made a fan cry in the audience, a little girl. So obviously Rhea's doing her job. And then they had Drew McIntyre come out and say that he wanted to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental title, which brought out Sheamus, who said that the Intercontinental title was the only belt that he wanted. And they're friends. And so they kind of argued back and forth, kind of teased the split between the two. And then the New Day came out and basically kind of made fun of both of them. Kofi said he wouldn't mind having a shot at the Intercontinental title. Then LA Knight came out and said there couldn't be a WrestleMania without LA Knight because it's in LA. And then Karrion Kross came out and basically beat up everybody. So, and then they went to commercials. So that's kind of how that segment ended. Later on, Gunther said he didn't care who he fought because he's going to be at WrestleMania anyway. So personally, I kind of see that as being maybe a ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Like with all 5 of them. It was announced that next week it'll be Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Viking Raiders. Also, Ronda Rousey went out with an arm injury, which actually is a legit injury, but won't stop her from competing at WrestleMania for whatever match they have her and Shayna set up for. Then, so the match was supposed to be Ronda Rousey and Tegan Nox ended up being Tegan Nox and Shayna Baszler, which Shayna Baszler won with an armbar. Then you had a segment with Sami Zayn in the crowd saying that he was going to take out the Bloodline. Then he kind of celebrated with the fans. And the main event was Sami Zayn versus Solo Sikoa. Sami got the win by disqualification when Jimmy Uso interfered. But before that, Roman had said if Jay doesn't show up next week and explain himself, he's not blaming Jay anymore for what's going on with the Bloodline. He's going to blame Jimmy for not bringing Jay back into the fold. So that'll be interesting for next week. All in all, I would give SmackDown probably about a B+. I thought it could have been a little bit better.
Dude, I go with C on that if it's like that. I gotta give you a C. I gotta give them a C for that one. With all that recap, I think it's a C+ for me.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Cody, what do you think?
I don't know. Listening to your commentary kind of put me to sleep.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
But all in all, I don't know. SmackDown, a solid B+. Nas's commentary needs work.
Yeah, I know. So then, Impact.
Did Joe Hendry come in?
No.
Damn. So there was no wedges, bitch.
No, I would have upped the grade on Impact if there would have been a Joe Hendry sighting. Impact wasn't that great of a show this week, which is kind of surprising coming off of No Surrender. They did have a pretty good match between Kenny King and Kushita's partner, Kevin. I apologize, I can't remember his last name. He graduated from the LA Dojo, which Kenny King won. Then you had Jordan Grace say that she wanted a knockouts title match against Mickey James at the next pay-per-view. But before that, Giselle Shaw, who now has the services after No Surrender of Savannah Evans as her personal security. Janelle Shaw next week is getting a knockouts title match. But the big news coming out of Impact is that we have new Impact World Tag Team Champions in the team of, they call themselves ABC. And they are members of the Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
Bullet Club.
And they beat the Motor City Machine Guns. So, Impact. Oh, and I have to say, there was a funny part with Dirty Dango. There was something going on backstage, and he was trying to stage a crime scene with like the crime scene tape and everything. But everybody kept running into the crime scene to talk to Santino. So the more they ran in, the more pissed off he got. And I thought it was going to go into a match, but it never did. They also said, Brian Myers also said that Matt Cardona is gone now from Impact Wrestling. I don't know if he's just taking a break or maybe he's going to WWE to join up with Chelsea. But for being what Impact is, the matches were good. Again, I apologize for getting the last name of that wrestler that wrestled Kenny King. I would give it like a C, I think.
Well, it sounds like I'll probably give it a C with you.
It would have been, like I said, it would have been higher if Joe Hendry would have been on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're giving it a C when the Bullet Club won a title? Really?
Oh, that's a good point.
Really? You're gonna give it a C with the Bullet Club winning a title? Dude. This is why I'm always better than you, and you know it. It's got to be at least a B-.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give it a B-. You're right. I'm thinking about that boosted it up.
I mean, there's legendary factions in wrestling, and the Bullet Club is one of them.
So I've talked solely about SmackDown and Impact. I would like you guys to help recapping Dynamite.
Okay.
So, you want
the Revolution ladder match was awesome.
Yes.
The Casino Battle Royale was awesome.
Yep.
Orange Cassidy beating Big Bill was really not believable.
Like, did it?
Yes, he did.
I mean, it wasn't really believable, and I really don't see how people can actually make that a believable storyline to myself. But, that's just me. I'm just a wrestling fan. I'm not Mr. Tony Khan. That's why I don't make millions of dollars.
So, I want to go back to the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a second. The MVP, no offense to the WWE wrestler, for that match was Commander. I mean, any man that can walk the top rope like The Undertaker and do a running shooting star press at the same time onto a ladder is amazing. Also on that one, we had the Elite get attacked by
That was just a cheap shot. That was not
by
fair.
the House of Black.
That was cheap.
Yes, but appropriate.
Yeah, I know.
Carry on my wayward son, and then boom.
Yep.
And I know I'm missing some matches.
I remember all of them, but there were some decent ones I liked, but I can't remember the names of them. But with all that I watched, I gotta give it double A plus.
I'll give it an A minus. I thought they should have put like MJF and maybe Bryan Danielson into a match.
Yeah.
What's the pay-per-view for? Why would they have a match before the pay-per-view?
No, not a match against each other, like in singles matches.
MJF wrestle for free, please.
He won't do that.
Well, that's true.
But all that I watched, I give it double A plus. That's just me.
I don't know, and I only watched bits and pieces of that because, again, I forgot to record on the streaming device.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. I'll give it an A.
The reason why I said that is I was watching at my house because they recorded it over there, and I watched the whole thing, and that's why I said it turned out pretty good.
Or maybe instead of an A, turn it into a bang.
Now, NXT. NXT had some interesting stuff happen. First of all, Wendy Chu was attacked.
Cheap shot.
So I'm a little intrigued to see who has been attacking all these people.
I got them to that then.
Briggs and Jensen kind of seem like they might be on the verge of breaking up because Jensen just didn't have his head into the game because he was so worried about his relationship with Kiana James. Although I can see a swerve happening where Briggs ends up having something happen with Kiana because he was very quick to offer his help to go talk to her. There was a great match between Hank Walker and Axiom. Hank Walker really showed what he learned from Drew Gulak, and Axiom gave him his seal of approval. The Schism broke into a Chase U classroom over their video screen and said that they were gonna destroy Chase U. So now next week on Roadblock, it's gonna be Andre Chase versus Joe Gacy.
Gacy's gonna win that one.
Also, in this year came out and destroyed Briggs and Jensen. After the match, Jinder Mahal and Indus Sher challenged the Creeds and a partner that they could find to a 6-man next week. But so then the Creeds were backstage looking for a partner. They first went to Damian Kemp, even though Julius didn't want to. And Julius turned him down and said, no way. And then all of a sudden, Braun Breaker showed up and said, if you need a third, then, I'm in. So now next week, it'll be a 6-man tag with Braun Breaker and the Creed Brothers versus Indus Sher and Jinder Mahal. They had a great NXT North American Championship match between Wes Lee and Nathan Frazier, with Wesley won to retain the title. And then so all in all, I would give NXT an A. Maybe even close to an A+.
Hey, you want to give that one?
What?
A triple A+.
There you go. Yeah, I really enjoyed NXT.
I watched that UFC. That's why I did that. All right, this special guest has got to pop out. Have a good night, y'all.
Night.
And then Monday Night Raw. The big thing coming out of Monday Night Raw was we have new women's tag team champions. Becky Lynch and Lita defeated Damage Control to become the new tag team champions. And then Seth Rollins had a hilarious segment. I know you and I were laughing about that when we did our Zoom thing, where it was Miz TV, where Miz found out he would be the host of WrestleMania, which I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. I guessed that before it happened. And Seth Rollins came out and wanted The Miz to call Logan Paul. And then The Miz got knocked out, and Seth called Logan Paul. Logan Paul told The Miz to stop calling him. Seth didn't say anything. Logan said, no, Miz, I told you not to call. But, and then all of a sudden, Seth did his laugh and said that if Logan wanted to come get him, he could see him next week on Raw from Boston, which is actually shaping up to be a really good show. So Seth said he would. And I don't remember the exact line, but Seth Rollins called Logan Paul a bitch, so that was kind of funny.
Yes, it was.
And I think what else happened on? Candice LeRae lost to Piper Niven because of Nikki Cross. And I think that's about it. So I think I would give Raw probably a solid B+. And I do want to bring up one other thing about Friday Night SmackDown, and then I'll do a quick recap on Rampage because we forgot that on Friday. Uncle Howdy made an appearance because Bobby Lashley showed up to respond to what Bray Wyatt did on Raw when Bray brought out the workout man when he used to do the Firefly Funhouse. And so Bobby Lashley came to SmackDown to respond to that. And Uncle Howdy attacked. And you heard Uncle Howdy say that he was going to get Bobby Lashley. And as he said that, you could clearly tell it was Bo Dallas. So to me, that's kind of confirmation. Now let's go to Rampage. Rampage started with a hell of a match. It was a fatal 4-way tag team match. It was the BCC, Claudio and Wheeler Yuta versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds versus Aussie Open versus Top Flight. And the BCC got the win. Then we had a match between Riho and Emi Sakura, which Riho got the win. And then in the main event, you had Swerve Mogul affiliates, Swerve Strickland and Parker Boudreaux versus the natural Dustin Rhodes and the unnatural Keith Lee. Oh, sorry, the unnatural Limitless Keith Lee. And Keith Lee got the win with the Big Bang Catastrophe on Parker to get the win. So all in all, Rampage, I would give a B. It kind of told the stories more, like it normally does. So all in all, that's the recap for the week. And thank you for the 3 viewers that we have right now.
So it's not often you get a prediction show and his live results in one show. He's just feeling a little froggy tonight and agreed to come on and do this podcast while I'm in Wenatchee for the state games. So,
and I have breaking news. I just received a message from the manager that I was telling you about earlier in the podcast, Mr. Al Tubbs. We have now been confirmed to have Mr. Al Tubbs on Monday at 7 o'clock on the podcast.
On which day?
April 23rd.
April 23rd. But that's not going to be our next That's not going to be our next interview. Oh, no.
No.
We're going to start doing live from the chair confessionals with our Special Olympians starting as early as next month.
Yes.
And again, breaking news. I got a handshake deal from the CEO of Special Olympics Washington to make an appearance on this very podcast.
Which is mind-blowing to me. I've actually had a chance to meet him. He is an amazing person. Not in person, over Zoom, but still, he's an amazing person. I am so honored to be able to interview him and the Special Olympics athletes that we're going to interview on the confessionals. I do want to give a personal shout out to the Cowlitz Police and Fire Department for the send-off that they gave to the Special Olympics athletes on Friday. Tony can give you a little bit of more information about that. If
Well, you did a good job. I mean, it was a tremendous honor to have them escort out our hardworking men and women and our coaches and chaperones, which they even got a little bit of a surprise. I didn't understand they were supposed to just do a code 1 exit, and they actually got lights and sirens on the entire bell and whistles. So
Yes.
it was quite an honor to watch.
And what was cool to me about that, other than the how excited everybody was on the bus from the video that a Special Olympics athlete, Alyssa, posted on my Facebook page, or actually on Amber's Facebook page, and that's how I saw it. And then hers had the lights, but the fact that the turn that goes onto the freeway down by Furniture World was completely blocked off for the bus to make that turn, and you know, and get onto the highway.
That was cool. Yeah.
I thought that was awesome because it showed how much this town and this area cares about their Special Olympics athletes. And for the viewers that are out, do whatever you can to get involved with the Special Olympics. The coaches, the athletes will bring you more joy and enthusiasm than pretty much anybody you'll come in contact with. And they're always looking for volunteers. So I believe if anybody's interested, you can go to Special Olympics. I believe what is it, SpecialOlympicsWashington.com or SpecialOlympics.com.
SOWA.org.
Okay, there you go. SOWA.org. And look up the volunteer options, and I would highly recommend that. On that note, I think that's all we got for tonight.
All right. Well, again, it's been an honor for Mr. Noss to join us tonight on a very special After Dark, even though neither one of us are in the dark.
I want to thank Tony for taking his time in Wenatchee in what looks to be a very nice hotel room.
Don't let looks fool you.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you are.
It's comfortable.
Our apologies to the Wenatchee Hotel Services.
It's comfortable. It is very, very comfortable. I've got a room with my son, and it's a king-size bed, and it is so comfortable.
Nice.
That, you know, the city of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee have been exceptional hosts. It's a very beautiful city. It hasn't done that dreaded S word yet, so we might even venture up over the mountain going home.
Well, just keep Stanley out of your car and keep him from saying that word. You should be fine.
Well, who knows? I might lose my other mirror tomorrow going home.
Wait, you lost the mirror?
Long story.
Point taken.
We were driving. We came through the Columbia River Gorge and cut across 82 and onto a couple of the other smaller freeways to avoid all the mountain passes. And I just got informed that it's supposed to snow all night tonight, so I'll probably be taking 84 home. And maybe I'll put the mirror that I lost in the first place. But anyways, long story short, going over this bridge, and I've got a semi on the right of me and a semi in front of me, and it's a 2-lane road going over a bridge. And the wind gust had hit just right, and I'm right in the
vortex of the semi.
So I can't move, and it swoops up this green piece of, I thought it was styrofoam, but I guess it was a lot harder than that because it went towards my front window, and luckily I veered enough to where it would miss the window, and it took out the back part of my mirror. Of course, I did not know that until I had pulled over a little ways up the road and got out and made sure there was no damage to the vehicle, and that's when I noticed the mirror was gone. The back of the mirror was gone.
Wow.
So yes, I lost a back part of the mirror to my car.
Got ya.
Very, very sad because I love my car.
I know you do.
And yeah, but
So on
that
note, please subscribe to our channel, which is From the Chair. We're looking for a bunch of likes. I did some research to get monetized, like you and I have talked about. We need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
And we can't do this without you. And we've even got one live viewer at the end of this podcast. So thank you again, fans. We can't do this without you. We enjoy doing this twice a week. This might be our new podcast and streaming. We like it much better than Zoom.
Yes, very much so.
And we've done a few podcast shows, and it actually gets us out here live with you guys live. To where you guys can pop in. We're going to try to make it to where we can even put you guys in our studio with us. You guys can ask us live questions. We can do Q&A.
Yes.
That's kind of what else we're looking at doing. But anyways, on that note.
And one more quick thing, because I want to bring this up. On Thursday, we will have a Special Olympics athlete, an inspiring wrestler, Matt Gravitt.
But on that note, it is late. I've been up all day. My dogs are barking. I've been up long hours the last 2 nights, and I hate to cut this podcast short.
No, you're completely fine. I understand. So
I hate to cut this podcast short, but Mr. Noss, as always, it's a pleasure to do a podcast with you. Thanks for doing it on the whim and inviting in our special guests this evening.
No problem.
That was kind of fun having special guests coming in and interrupting the podcast, which is kind of cool. You know? Yes, it was a blast. This is why we like doing the live podcasts, everybody, because you never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
So please, as Mr. Noss said earlier, please like and subscribe to our podcast. A special thanks to Mr. Noss for putting up with this. Another special thanks to one of our sponsors, the CARE program, Becky Bernhardt.
Yes.
We've got a paint company that we have as a sponsor, and one other one we just got recently. But, thank you guys. We cannot do this without you.
Yes, the paint company, just really quick so I give their name, is Bruce Nichols Painting. And also his daughter, I apologize, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's horse masseuse. Apparently even horses need massages.
So until next time, it may be tomorrow night, and it depends on how froggy I feel and how much energy I have. If not, it'll be Monday night. Until then, stay well. Love you all. Peace out. Mr. Noss, it's always an honor. Thank you for being a wonderful host. We'll have to get our co-host on here one of these nights and actually do a podcast on StreamYard with all 3 of us.
Yes, very much so.
But again, keep an eye out for the Special Olympics athletes. Megan Gaines will be first here in a couple of weeks, followed by the chief operator, the chief smile officer. A week or so after her, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we got Wesley sometime in the month of April.
Yes, that'll be the 16th.
Then we've got Mr. Tubbs rolling in, and then I'm going to work on getting the Mr. David Wu, Special Olympics CEO. And in the month of April, Nathan, you just have to email him. He's waiting for your email.
Okay, I'll work on that tonight.
Other than that, anybody else out there that wants to be interviewed, please leave a email or Facebook Nathan, and we can set that up.
Yes, and really quick, my email is Nostorius. That's NOSSTORIUS at yahoo.com. And then as far as Facebook, just look up my name, Nathan Noss. That's NOSS.
And once we get those emails or Facebook messengers, he will contact you, get you on the calendar, and you guys can have an interview. But
Yes.
like I said, I am extremely wore out. I'm extremely exhausted. So we are going to end this podcast. Again, peace out. Be well with each other. Peace. See you next time.